Welcome back to the Kosi Arsenal podcast. My name is Kosi. Welcome back to a brand new video. Arsenal 5, Crystal Palace 1. It's unlikely that you beat a team 8 goals in a space of 3 days, but we did it. Crystal Palace, they've fallen off, but that was a very good performance from us. That was a very, very good performance from Arsenal. And the starting 11 was a little bit kind of wary. I was very wary of the starting 11. Kai Havertz starting in midfield. I thought the defense was all right, but the way they looked, it was very, very shaky. It was only up top Gabriel Jesus, Gabriel Martinelli, and Saka before going off, and then Leandro Trossard, that were giving you a bit of confidence that Arsenal can go and do a job in that game. The defense, if you look at the first goal that we considered, or the only goal we considered in that game, William Saliba, he was not up to his game yesterday. He wasn't up there. And I think there was one very good save that Raya made in the first half. Again, that could have been 2-2. Again, William Saliba just losing focus. It was a chaotic start, but in the end, it ended 5-1. And I think the one thing I can say is, you take the points and run. You take the positives and run. Of course, the biggest story there is that Bukayo Saka is injured. He left in clutches. Now, that is bad. That is bad for us. Our season needs to turn around. We've dropped a lot of points. Yes, Manchester City continue to drop points, which is to our advantage. But we have also dropped a lot of points as well. And you look at Liverpool right now. You look at Chelsea right now. They're in groove. They're in momentum. We need to catch up. You can't have Saka injured and then walking with sticks off the stadium. But let's dive into the performance. Let me know who was your man of the match. It was, like I said, chaotic, but interesting. I mean, the substitutions this time, Ricardo Calafiori and Declan Rice, they just added fuel to the fire, and it was much better when they came on than before. I thought Ethan Nwaneri also looked good. Before they came on, I thought Partey was okay. I thought Partey was very good. At the midfield, obviously, lacked Declan Rice, but I thought Partey had a good performance. Odegaard was playing a little bit deeper, not in that creative pocket, but of course he allowed us to play out from the back. So I want to know who was your man of the match, because it was so chaotic, yet we won 5-1. The first thing I want to say about such a performance is they will happen. That such performances will happen where you particularly don't play well, but you pick up points. And that is what happened yesterday. If someone looks at the scoreline, 5-1, they'll say Arsenal are really, really, really good. They were on top of this game. But I'll tell you, that game was 1-1 after 11 minutes. Then Arsenal got a second goal. I think Jean-Philippe Mateta should have got a second. He should have grabbed an equalizer. No question about that. And then after that, Arsenal leading 3-1 at half time. There were 2 glorious chances at the beginning of the second half that Crystal Palace should have capitalized on. And that is Ismail Sarr. So this was a game where Arsenal survived and Crystal Palace were not so very lucky, right? But like I've always said, when you're chasing the title, you need any kind of win. You need all kind of wins. You need to play well, which we've not done this campaign at all. I don't remember a game where I can say Arsenal played well. If you think we played well yesterday, let me know in the comment box below. I don't think we played well. I think we, 40% of the time, we were hanging in there. 30% of the time, especially towards the back end of the game, we were very comfortable. And then there was that chaos just there in the middle. Palace looking threatening, Arsenal looking scared and weak, and then Arsenal looking threatening, and then Palace looking scared and weak. Well, those 3 points now take us within 3 points of reach of Liverpool if they don't win today, but also 1 point behind Chelsea if Chelsea don't win today. I think the title is now starting to take shape. It's starting to take real shape. I remember saying this in November, that I'm not giving up on the title just yet. And the reason as to why I was not giving up early was because I still think there will be a Manchester City show where they got 10 games in a row just winning. We have not seen that. And until we see that, every single team within 10 points, reach of Liverpool is still in the title race. I think the title race is still very, very alive. Like, Liverpool could drop points in the next 2 games, right? And the only reason as to why the difference is still 6 points, or 9 points for that matter, is because we've not capitalized, right? It's not because we've not capitalized, it's because we've not capitalized on Liverpool's slips. Against Newcastle, they drew. I think we beat Manchester United. Then they had a draw against Fulham, and then we failed to beat Everton, and then they didn't play Everton. So mathematically, statistically, realistically, Arsenal should be like a point above Liverpool right now, or at least a point below Liverpool. But anyway, it doesn't matter. We still have 19 games to go, and that's all that matters. We've got to focus on how do we bring in much better performances in the second part of the campaign. The Crystal Palace game saw a couple of players coming back. Ricardo Calafiori is too aggressive. I like him as a player. He's fearless, he's aggressive. But when you're injury prone like that, there's a question to be had. Do you slow down a little bit? There was a time when he had just come off, and Trossard was literally telling him, slow down, calm down. But I like him as an aggressive player. He's always forward thinking. He doesn't trust. He wants to impress. And I think you look at both goals that we scored, 4 and 5, both of them come from Ricardo Calafiori and Declan Rice. Those goals are courtesy of Rice and Calafiori coming in, because they come in and instead of managing the game, we take the game to Crystal Palace, and Palace, they're like confused. They feel like, Arsenal leading 3-1. Why are they trying to get another goal? Why aren't they trying to, to be secure with their, with their result? So I think it's a massive boost for us to be back. It's a massive boost for Calafiori to be back. No question about Lewis Skelly. Absolute gem. Like, everyone is focusing on Ethan Nwaneri, but the manager has shown that there is a degree of trust that he has in Lewis Skelly that he doesn't have in Ethan Nwaneri at the moment. And I'm not saying Nwaneri is not like quality. He is sensational. What I'm trying to say is there's a difference between being sensational and being able to elicit trust from your manager. And I think that's what Lewis Skelly has done. Every time he's been given the opportunity, he has delivered. Every time, he's decent, he is tidy in his work. You're not going to catch him out of position. He's quick, his passing is elite. Like, when I look at Bob at City, when I look at Lewis at City, I'm like, Lewis Skelly is definitely, in this pool of guys. With Ethan Nwaneri, I think he's got a lot to do than Skelly. I won't be surprised if Ricardo Calafiori gets this kind of long-term injury and Lewis Skelly plays at left back for 5 games straight in. So the performance was okay, but we've got to be better. These are the areas that I noticed where we've got to improve, right? And I'm not trying to seem negative here. We've got to talk about the negatives and the positives. I think the defense was shaky. And was it just a bad day in office? Because our defense is our identity. We score a lot of goals using our heads, which is Gabriel Magalhaes, Saliba. We defend very well. Corners, aerial balls, ground dwells. We are so good. And I'm not going to criticize the defense for that, like one game. But it was off. Like, it was really, really off. I look at the first goal and I'm like, why am I not really convinced that that is unavoidable, right? Because Sarr bends it around Saliba. If you're William Saliba, you cannot allow that. You really, really can't allow that. Then the other one, the one that Saliba had given away, that was too sloppy, right? That was very, very sloppy. Secondly, now Kai played in midfield. I don't know what to say, right? I really don't know what to say. But if Rice is available and Mikel Merino is available, let's not play Havertz in midfield. Lastly, Gabriel Jesus. Because I don't want to talk about Saka in this one. Like, it's just going to kill the party. Gabriel Jesus has now scored 5 goals in his last 2 games. And it's going to cause confusion. It's going to cause confusion. It's going to cause... people are going to start saying, we don't need a striker. We do need a striker. We do need a striker. The thing with Jesus and Havertz is that they can have a stint. But as Arsenal, you don't need a striker that's going to have a stint. You need a striker that's going to have a good spell. Like Jesus right now, he can score in the next 5 games and then disappears. You need a striker who is hungry to score every single time. But listen, 5-1, that puts us in a very, very good position. We go back to third. If, regardless of what happens against Liverpool and Chelsea, the tempo doesn't change. And that's why we've got to win our games, I think, more convincingly now. We need to win more games, but in more convincing ways. But anyway, it's a good win. It's a very, very good win.